Hello and welcome back to the 2019 Utah Open. We have round one, back nine, feature card coverage. This event is provided by Lucky Disc Golf, coverage provided by UDisc. We've got Germinate or Germination. You guys tell us what you like more. Commentary, Jeremy Koling and Nate Perkins.
Happy to be here.
We see a lot of colors on that front nine. It's not a course that you really think is going to play difficult.
No, it's
We're
not.
looking back at the scores, and there were only 4 holes that averaged below par on the entire course.
Are you serious?
That was a surprising statistic for me when looking back on this, and I was wondering, why were scores not in the double digits? Like, it was just really shocking to me that we didn't, why didn't we get a lot of those? I mean, because a lot of rounds were already finished by the time we started our round. And scores are coming in at 4 under, 5 under. And I was like, well, bye. We're going to see you later. But the course was playing difficult for some reason. And it's weird. It's a golf course. It doesn't seem like it should be. But alas, here we are, hole 10. 285-foot triple Mando here.
So tricky.
With the Velcro grass.
The Velcro grass. That's a good point because look how fast Ricky's disc gets to the wall. Just there.
And his play is to kind of get that distance out of the way, because when he tries to throw the high hyzer or the low hyzer that skips, it just never skips.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to do that low hyzer skip here with a Metal Flake Destroyer.
And you need that sidewalk. Mm-hmm. Oh, I was so close to getting that sidewalk skip.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when it does happen, the sidewalk, though, because you get all the way there.
It's so much fun. But just barely missed that sidewalk.
You really need to challenge the top part of the Mando, but it's so hard to do that, because it's just, it'd just be embarrassing to go over it.
You just got to make this gap first and foremost, of course. And we see Taylor, unfortunately, has missed, and will have to proceed to the drop zone, which is a semi-makeable 55-foot putt. It's
a good drop zone. Yeah.
And a good effort, just didn't quite swing in there.
Ricky from like 90.
And not a hole you'd think would be playing over par, but just like so many other holes in the course, 14 of them, this one averaged 3.04. So it's not like they're averaging
That's interesting.
numbers like we saw at GBO last week, where they're averaging a whole stroke above par. It's they're averaging right at par, but
just completely missed the basket.
That was heartbreaking.
That's the putt that I've been struggling with. It's just a miss right. I've been trying to work on it. I think it's mechanical, but we'll figure it out.
I'm sure you will. Stab of the putt does not stand to miss a lot of putts.
Nice, Jeremy. Appreciate the nickname.
Oh, man. The first time I saw you ever play, I was like, this guy is stabbing putts. He's stabbing the putt. And I was like, oh, my God. And it's
Star Wars Day.
It's Star Wars Day.
Oh,
my God. The stars are aligned. Hole 11. This is one of the holes that average below par, 303 feet. There's one Mando that you can see there on that tree. You have to keep it right down this little tunnel with the golf driving range poles in the way. And some people play the... I hope those guys have been cleared off the course by the time we played. I don't remember if they were there or not, but some people like to play the bounce off the net.
It doesn't really work, though, It like catches those poles. And Ricky just kind of threw that one so soft and on hyzer, but he's inside the circle.
Yep. And I went with the Star Rock. I was like, Ricky did it great.
Let me just throw it soft like Ricky. That was a huge misfire.
Yeah.
That was straight hyzer. He actually missed the Mando.
Yep.
And he's putting for 3 from 70.
Yeah, it's like exactly how you draw it up.
So I see Germ do that, and I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't anything but that. And there's that skip off the net, and that's in that jump putt range,
And Taylor trying to go that high right route around that right tree. Unfortunately, did not keep it as wide as he needed to, but he's in the home shopping network right now. He's putting for a birdie.
Hating it.
Didn't like it. No, never had a chance out of my hand.
This round is going so weird right now.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
There was a weird feeling in the air. Like the crowd was nice. They were clapping.
Great crowd, yeah.
But it's just like it was an eerie feeling.
It just didn't feel like that
Something was
tournament
missing.
feeling. I don't know. Something was missing. Even the Jomez dudes were talking about it.
You know who wasn't missing? Ricky.
And maybe that's what separates him, is that he doesn't need the
conditions don't
atmosphere.
matter.
The conditions don't matter. Who he's playing with doesn't matter. He goes into the same mode. He has the same attitude every tournament, and that's likely what separates him from players like yourself, players like me.
Players like all of us. Look at his last 9 holes. He's got 6 birdies.
Yeah, he's hot.
The rest of the card is just kind of struggling to get pars and a few birdies here and there. But yeah, this is definitely when he started walking away from the card. Hole 12 is a really difficult low ceiling 348-foot par 3. The only time really you have technicality introduced on this course. You have the driving range, net, and poles to contend with, and obviously you have these trees that create really interesting gaps, and you really have to pick, commit, and execute perfectly to get yourself a look for birdie on this hole.
Yeah, the backhand shot is highly technical. You got to keep it low. Ricky's going with that T-bird 3, and look at this. Hyzer in right in front of the poles.
Yeah. And
hitting the pole.
Little dink dink.
We're going to get a follow flight on that one. Absolutely.
And this was called at. I mean, as soon as he threw it, I was like, at follow flight. And this is before it even skipped up to the pole. It's just that you can't throw it better than that.
You did say follow flight. I second that. So this is really the other route on the hole, is that sidearm through that gap that you see right there, and just not enough commitment. It's everything about it's beautiful.
It's so hard to commit to that shot. I feel like I've practiced that shot on this course more than any other hole, and I execute it so seldom. It's just
Really? That's like your shot.
It's your shot. You like that flex shot. I like the hyzer flip.
Yeah. So you're over it. You're over it, and you're like, I'm just gonna go throw a thumber. I thought it was interesting because a thumber. Look at this view. Oh, it's so close.
Just over the pin.
From the tee pad, it looked like it was a dunk.
Yeah,
it looked like it was
kind of
dunking.
Did. It landed directly in line from the tee box to the pin. I never even practiced that shot. It was just we had a tailwind. And it was like, you know what? Like
I just bogeyed. I just missed the Mando. It's time.
I got some rage I want to unleash here. I'm just gonna throw a disc high.
That was definitely bogey summer rage right there.
I don't want to call it rage. It's just, but
please make this. Please try to make it. Please try. You're even par, Jeremy. You need to do everything you can to get that one in the basket.
I'm trying to figure out what life is right now, because that was the worst birdie putt of my life, I think.
Ricky is just like, who am I playing with right now? Like, can we turn it up or?
Oh man, yeah, that's difficult to watch. But Rick with a beautiful birdie, that is not something that many people were able to do. 2
pars in the last 8 holes.
Yeah, it's
smoking.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
This is really a pro par 3 right here. Hole 13, 524 feet, and OB left is really the danger. OB long, if it comes into play for you, but it's 500 foot of power to reach this one.
524 feet, and just like the hole 5 that we talked about earlier, and this is adjacent to hole 5, we have probably the fastest 2 fairways on the course with these 2 holes. So many shots want to hit this grass and just shoot towards the water.
Yeah, so as soon as Ricky let this one go, he was asking it to sit, and I was like, kind of like, dude, you're going to park it. What are you talking about?
But he was right.
And he knew.
And it just barely crept over that hillside.
Yeah.
And once it hits that edge, it's so hard for the disc to slow down. And that just creeped and crawled and went out of bounds.
Shout out to Thought Space Athletics for the sweet stamp that they did on that CD3 right there. That's a duality CD3. Pretty stoked about it. First time I've actually thrown it in competition. That's like good, like 440 feet of power or something.
I mean, you're not going for the pin, so to get that far, you know, you're loving it. And Taylor, once again, just like on hole 3, going through the tree, that's that local love that you see every once in a while for the person that's putting a lot of time and effort into helping this tournament run well. And he's got a pretty easy approach.
So you're going with the Wraith right here?
I pretty much did the Wraith the whole round, and this has
got a great flight to it. Disappearing into the mountains. Hyzering forward skip, forward roll.
Mm-hmm.
22 feet left for eagle.
It's birdie, but yeah, the hole
Feels
was
like eagle.
The hole was shortened a couple years ago
Mm-hmm.
by Jade to make it more of a par 3 because it was a par 4, but it was like 550 feet.
Gotcha.
And so they made it just that long distance where I think
It's a pro par 3.
It totally
it's like
is.
elite, and it's, you know, I'm playing it for 3, and that's okay. That's okay to play some holes for par.
Mm-hmm. And Ricky in auto mode right now, just dunking
ball.
everything and not happy at all about
Another par.
another par. Oh, gosh.
What am I going to do? I mean, he's got high expectations. What did he shoot last year? I mean, he shot like 16 or something.
It really
Shot like 1,100 rated round to finish the tournament. Oh, no, you didn't.
Spoiler.
No, you didn't. Should we say it?
No.
No, we should just.
No.
We shouldn't. Love it.
Hey everyone, we've updated our Patreon page. If you're a current member, you need to go in and sign up for one of the new tiers that we have so that you can be eligible for exclusive giveaways and videos. It doesn't do it automatically, so go to patreon.com/JomezPro and update your membership. Thank you.
And only 2 birdies in a day on hole 14, or hole 13, rather.
And you're one of them.
And Garrett Gerthy, the other.
Oh,
player
wow.
that picks up all the big birdies.
That's why I still consider you that elite distance, dude, because you can get those birdies.
Oh, gee, thanks. I can also miss the 200-foot holes every once in a while. Speaking of that, we got a 238-foot par 3, hole 14.
Tricky.
So tricky. The tree off the tee really makes it so difficult because you have to decide, are you going high? Are you going low? You can't see the pin.
This one's low. Oh, and the wind just pushes it down. Oof. It's
That's
OB
not the
dust
sight
right
you
there.
You do not want to see the OB dust flipping in the wind.
And Ricky says, nope, I'm going high with my pig.
Look at
and
that.
Oink, oink.
Yeah, he
birdie.
oink, oink, sticks it right there. That's bacon right
What
there
am
for
I
you, buddy.
saying? We had some good bacon this morning, though. Cooked by yours truly.
Yeah, shout
for
out
the
to
crew. Oh,
and hitting that hillside, and now
that's
you
what
see.
happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's dirty.
It's always brutal to watch it on the reverse end, and look at that.
Worst case
And
scenario.
you can see, I mean, on a 238-foot hole, there's just no real good way to land on this hill unless you do exactly what Ricky did. And off to the right side, the par putt is not in.
You know what the problem is I'm looking at my face and I'm terrified. I mean, that's the problem right there. It really did push right. It really did.
You didn't believe me.
I wish we could get the NoMez on that one.
I thought it was a NoMez for sure. I mean, that was
like on the pole pushing right. Ricky with a good birdie. I mean, it's 238 feet, but it's so difficult to stick it on top of that hill right there.
I mean, really, only 22% of the field was able to birdie the hole. It's
Really?
I mean, for a hole that looks like it's so easy and simple. You
We've
get on this hillside, you get on the right side of it, it just skips so far right, you don't want to do that. So you're trying to pin it because you don't want to putt back uphill when there's out of bounds behind the pin. So you're trying to park it, and it's just, it's a really hard thing to do. Anyhow, moving on to hole 15, a par 4, 651 feet.
It might be one of the most demanding tee shots that we have on this course.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's a very technical tee shot. If you're throwing the right-hand backhand, the fairway gets smaller and smaller the further up the fairway you go. And Ricky is trying to combat that by throwing a rock.
Yeah, he's throwing the mid, and it looks great. It looks great, and it needs to hit just before the hill, hits on top, gets the green, and rolls. Wow. And the sidewalk's not actually OB, so that extra little curl into the water is what really hurt him. And I think this is a better play because it opens up the fairway a little bit more because you're hyzering onto the green instead of past it toward the other OB.
Right. That
was perfect.
If you have the distance for the forehand, I think that play is the way that it opens up the fairway, like you said, perfectly. And again, I don't understand why Ricky doesn't go with that forehand play more often. It's such a weapon for him.
He could hyzer it to where you and I
He's just really gone away from that lately. I mean, he loves it for the approach shots, but he just doesn't throw it for drives anymore.
Really?
And you're on the perfect place to be also with that sidearm with the club breaker, and Taylor getting that forward skip, and look at that,
the
just
double skip OB.
racing out of bounds. but this is a scary place to be. And look at that. Once again, hobbling off the shot.
Good forward skip.
Getting those
circles edge.
elevation cramps out here, man.
Yeah, the cramp was not feeling good at this point. Ricky with a tough lie. Got over on that one.
Flexing the destroyer.
Needs a skip. Whoa, good skip.
That's a great way to save that par.
Great shot from there on the hillside like that. Watch this one skip.
Boink, boink, boink.
That was even better than I remember.
Yeah, the
triple.
The X1 edge bouncer.
Oh, even better skip right here. Check this out. Dirt, turf. almost gets the golf tee little marker
out of my hand. I was just like, I think my head exploded. I was like, ah!
I thought it was gonna roll into the water or something tragic.
I didn't see the golf marker. I clearly wasn't trying to throw the disc at the ground that close.
Oh,
but that's a heartbreaking. With
I really
perfect
wanted that one
shot.
for you. Yeah,
this is just to miss that approach so badly. And Taylor's off to the left side, and again,
man, we just not connecting. Like for real, I forgot it was like this, but
it's kind of heartbreaking reliving it.
It's just such a. It goes to show you that the putting isn't that easy. You know, it's kind of nice to have these players that are missing putts because we're normally seeing Ricky, Eagle, Paul, you know, just drain putts over and over, and it's nice to see. You know, you're 10-25, I'm 10-17, and we're just missing putts. You know, it's possible. So it's kind of nice for the viewers to be able to see that Ricky's.
I'm glad that this is so nice for the viewers. I hope you guys are appreciating it.
Well, it is. You know, they get to appreciate how good Ricky's putting actually is, how good Eagle's putting really is when they do see it.
Hole 16, 408 foot. Again, all about risk reward, all about course management on this one. Do you go for this pin? I mean, you're going to
12 foot, 15 foot, square foot green. And Ricky going with the rock.
Just playing the safe shot, the smart shot, getting himself as close as he feels comfortable to that bunker, but also within putting range.
So I'm guessing that he knows he's going to make it like halfway through that flight. He's like, oh, it's a 2. And you're raging on this one, dude. Raging.
I don't know why I threw it so low.
500 feet. It's a 400-foot hole. Okay.
That's retrievable.
Dude, you're right there. I thought you were across the other side.
It was not. I like to be pin high right about 25 feet, and now I'm out of bounds about 55, 60 feet. So not great. That's a good, smart play again to put yourself exactly in that fairly easy layup position. And you know, this is not a hole you need a 2. Not many people.
Yeah, this one's got to be certainly playing over par.
Oh yeah, 3.22.
Oh no. That's not what you want to do right there. That's actually in the sand trap short. And leaves him a really tricky approach with the sand trap right in front of the green.
Oh, and I don't know if he was trying to lay that up or just trying to I think he was trying to go for the pin.
I think he was, yep.
Just a foot lower than he needed it, maybe 2 feet lower.
Too floaty.
48
Look at the difference.
feet.
That's like a 55-footer.
And
he loved it. Watch how he got this one. Left the
just
the frame.
so good.
So high. He got that one actually a little anty to get it to go flat and forward.
There were only 4 birdies on the day on this hole.
There was
Ricky is one of them. Oh, 4? There were 3 birdies, and he got it. On hole 7, there was 1, I think, and he got it. And on hole 16, there were 4, and he was the one consistent in all of those.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, these holes are not easy to birdie, and Ricky's getting all of these.
He's making this course look pretty easy right now, and we are not. Hole 17, another tricky green surrounded by OB. There's OB right, there's OB long, and there's OB left.
Yeah, 375 feet's a long way to carry this shot. And surprisingly, this is one of the few holes, one of the 4 on the course that played under par at 2.98 and without a bounds being so close. And not only is it close, but once you get to that edge, you're going in the water. So think about that. Like you see that water's edge about 20 feet away from the pin, but really the OB is like 15 feet from the pin.
Look how flat that shot was, though. That's a rock on a 375-foot hole. A thing of beauty right there, Ricky.
It truly is. And this is a very nice wide skip playing to the fat side. If you're going to miss left or right, you want to miss left, because if you miss right, you're going out of bounds.
Exactly. Yep.
And
That's kind of the danger of the forehand. I do like the forehand on this, but you really need to get it wide, or you really need to get it on angle. And you did neither of those, and that's going to skip.
And that has no chance. Like, it almost had a chance.
Yeah, it had a chance.
But once it gets to that edge, if it gets to that downslope towards the water and has any edge at any speed, it's gone.
This is a good-looking shot by Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Good skip. Inside the circle.
Yeah. 3 shots inside the circle. I guess it's showing why it's one of the 4 holes playing under par.
The 4 shots inside the circle. Yours is just out of bounds.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Dude, come on.
Okay, so this looks way shorter than it was in my mind when because I haven't made one in like 10 holes, you know?
That was a great putt.
Feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling good enough to get back to 1 down. This is a must make for par right here.
This is Germ has left the building. Yeah, it's like I'm objectively watching this as if it were someone else, but then I like remember every once in a while.
You get in the feels.
Oh, that's me.
You get in the feels.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I did that.
It's so sad.
Yeah,
just so sad right now. Just throwing down that. Please make it. Okay.
I'm trying. I'm everything within me to like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the purpose of this next shot? Like, I have to focus in for this. We have one more hole.
Seeing red on the card, red everywhere.
Let's see some green,
please.
Hole 18,
the famous Ricky walk-off ace.
Yeah, and probably no better place to take a picture of the Wasatch Mountains than this green right here. It's just you see all the beautiful points from right here, and you get this beautiful green.
Spectators can sit up there on the golf driving range and cheer the players on. Ricky with the pig.
Yeah, 207 feet, and Rick's just trying to play a safe shot. But man, he is pushed outside the circle's edge, and that is probably the scariest putt you could ever.
It's the scariest putt I've ever looked at.
Mm-hmm. And that, as well as pushing the circle's edge,
scary
just
putt.
Inside.
That's layup. That's a for sure layup. Taylor giving this one a big go. Oh, it just needed to catch some metal.
And staying safe. And I'm going with my Star AVR X3, and I didn't throw it flat.
Mm-hmm.
And it just starts hyzering, and man, I thought for sure
stick.
I was out of bounds.
Yeah.
I was scared to throw the one that I throw all the time because I didn't want to lose my disc, and that was the wrong mindset.
So what are you thinking right here? You're like,
I don't.
Okay, you're thinking layup, like definitely.
I'm thinking Thai food.
You're already on to dinner. Yep.
And
Rick showing that he's human.
Wow.
Like you could feel the nerves on that one.
Mm-hmm. And there's a for sure layup right there. Good layup, dude. What made you go for that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm 1 down, like 2 downs better than 1 down. It's like even's not that much worse than 1 down. It's like, I don't know.
In any OB putts on this hole, if you're in this little protected area, just to make it safe for the players, go to that little drop zone where Ricky will tap in from, finishing his round at 9 under par, 49. And
half the holes is never bad. That's his minimum.
Yeah,
that's his minimum.
I feel like that's like any player's minimum. If they're going to a course where the wind is kind of calm,
that's what you have to be these days.
It got pretty gusty for us. There are different parts of the round. But you look at that spread of scores. I mean, we've got everything from 9 under to 6 over and almost everything in between. Red and green and purple on your scorecard tickers. There's a lead group.
The field.
Yeah, and Chandler Fry, Justin Bilodeau, Alex Russell. Like I said, well, besides Ricky, we got a lot of West Coasters out here in the lead. But thanks for joining in.
Thank you.
First round coverage. Check us back tomorrow where we're playing for the Fort. Preview for the 2020 World Championships here in Utah.
Back into the woods.
Click that subscribe button. We'll check you guys back tomorrow.